Welcome to Raw Radio.
And we are live.
Yes, here we go.
Take it away.
Take it away. There's a new feature on Zoom that when you hit the record, and please forgive me, I'm not feeling too well today, but there's a limitation on Zoom where if once you start recording, it tells you that you're recording. And I think they did it specifically for people like you who oftentimes forget to hit the record button. And now it's ingrained in me. If I don't hear that woman's voice telling me it's recording, I know we're in trouble.
Listen, you're just jealous that a multi-billion-dollar company doesn't introduces features because of you. Okay.
Yeah. They have. It's when you get blocked. A lot of that is because of me. But
anyhow, brilliant conversation.
Yeah. Let's talk.
Brilliant episodes this week. What a mind-blowing story. Before we get to that, I'm learning. I'm starting to notice that we are yet to talk to one person who had easy life out of our guests, and this is not an intentional selection here, but it seems like everybody is reaching these obstacles of life, and some are more drastic than others.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them are harder to overcome, but nobody has the easy path. Everybody is facing some kind of challenge.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that's probably 99.9% of the population. And the people that we are fortunate enough to have talked to don't let it limit their capabilities. They don't let it hold them back or keep them down. And they keep pushing forward. So they kind of put no limitations on what they can do. And these obstacles or the hardships or the abuse even that they've been put through, at some point they figure out is just another challenge. And how do they get through it and to get to their ultimate goals or whatever, they might not even have an ultimate goal, but just how do we get past it? How do I not let it hold me back so I can continue moving forward? And then we are fortunate enough to talk to them at a point in their lives where they've achieved quite a bit, most of them. So it's pretty great.
Yeah, and I think that's a really important topic to talk about when it comes to these obstacles and goals. And we have talked about these specific things in the past, but I don't think we've ever talked about limitations and how one can view them, from a perspective of approaching them. Right. I mean, we could have a number of different limitations as far as, our physical limitations. Right. I mean, there could be something physically wrong. There would be something physically different or limiting as far as our body's concerned, or how we move or whatever the case might be. But also there are limitations often out of our control, like, obstacles surrounding us. Right.
Yeah.
That could be it too.
Yeah, I think that there's self-imposed limitations, things that we can't con ourselves into thinking, but then there's very legitimate limitations that are put upon us that I think here's a quick example. Me, when I wanted to start jiu-jitsu at 46, when I called the academy and talked to Phil at the front desk, he was like, "Hey man, I'm not that young. We'll hook you up with a good part." I said, I'm a little bit older. I got I got a bad shoulder. I've got a bad lower back. I've done this and that to my body. I don't even know if this is the right thing for me. And he was like, "Listen, come on in. Everybody's got things that they're working with here or working through. Come in. We'll hook you up with a good training partner. You're going to see that you can do this, that you're going to be able to enjoy this and get the benefits of it." And, we all belong to multiple BJJ groups online, right? And see different things. And there's always, once a week, I see that question: am I too old to start? Or this is holding me back? Should I even give it a try? And everybody is like, do it. Just get in there and do it. Pick the right training partners. Don't let anything hold you back from what you want to do. It's such a positive, great thing. And I think that that attitude if it was in different aspects of everybody's lives, people would be much more fulfilled. They wouldn't be using these limitations um, to hold them back from the things that they want to do, whether it's physical, something mental, anything they want to achieve. They don't have to be kept down because of it.
Well, first of all, I gotta say, shout out to Phil.
Mm-hmm.
He's a smart dude, because if you didn't come in, then I would have to be doing this by myself right now.
Oh, some
So,
people would probably appreciate that. So thanks, Phil.
But no, on a side note, Phil just had a baby, so it's
Oh, what?
Congratulations to Phil.
I had no
Yeah,
idea.
Phil. Yeah. Anyway, Phil, if you're listening, you know who you are. So congratulations on that, and
Congratulations, buddy.
thanks for getting Gary onto the mat.
Yeah.
Now I have to
Man,
put
sorry.
up with him.
It's all Phil's fault. There you go.
But often these limitations, listen, it, often there's not much we can do about the limitation itself. But what we can do is how do we approach it,
Mhm.
right? And the limitation really could come in different factors and forms and formats and times, lengths, and so on. So there's many variables that come around all of this surrounding it. Um, and often we can't really change the limitation itself, whether it's a physical limitation of our body, whether it's a limitation of our surroundings or the decisions that we might make. But speaking of the decisions, but what we can do is change the approach, or be very strategic about how we approach the limitation, right?
Mhm.
So some of the examples that come in during the training, maybe, right? First of all, it's raining. Oh, so I'm more comfortable sitting on the couch. What did what's his name say
Here we go
about
again. Are you talking about
listen, I'm gonna keep looping back
Marcio
to the
Cruz?
I love Marcio, shout out to
Yes.
Marcio, by the way. But it's I love that analogy.
Yeah,
What's the
it's
biggest
the
what's the biggest obstacle for
obstacle,
jiu-jitsu?
the biggest obstacle for jujitsu is the couch, Thursday night football, and beer. I
That's
believe are
it
those
right
those,
there,
those
right?
three things. That combination are going to keep you home. Um, yeah, but how do it's easy to sit down on the couch and then an hour later you're like, damn it, I should have went to class. What did I do here? I didn't do
Listen,
anything.
true story from this morning. Literally, I got downstairs, hanging out with my kiddos and all this, and the question arose, should I go on a bike ride?
Mhm.
And I'm like, man, I gotta teach later tonight. Gary's sick. He's gonna be cranky. I gotta do this podcast. Like, I created a list in my mind of things that why I shouldn't go on a bike. Yeah, on a bike. And then I got kicked out of the house,
Mhm.
and I had to go on a bike ride.
They had nothing
So
else to
I,
do.
so, so I got in the saddle, and I went on a bike ride. 20 miles later, I came back. It was the best day, the best
Mhm.
decision I made today, and I had a best day today so far. So sometimes what we think at the moment when we are thinking, maybe there's a million reasons not to do it, but there's always one reason to do
Mhm.
it. And the moment we choose that one good reason, very likely things will change in a positive factor, and we can really impact ourselves and maybe perhaps surrounding whoever's surrounding around us. And it's not much different when it actually comes to jiu-jitsu. The biggest, I often say to students, the biggest challenge that we have is showing up. It's
Yeah.
showing up, getting your butt off the couch, getting in that car, and getting to the academy and training. Don't make excuses.
Mhm.
You love it too much. We all know that you love it. The point is, are you going to show up, right?
Yeah, and I think referring back to Professor Andre's episode, he had a major obstacle or a major what could have been limitation to
Mm-hmm.
him continuing training and teaching, especially. And he had his doubts and he wanted to quit, but he surrounded himself. And I think this has a big part of it too, like we talked about earlier with Phil. And he surrounded himself with enough people that were positive thinkers to push him in the right direction.
Mm-hmm.
He was given, when he had very serious physical, listen to the episode, very physical limitations put upon him at one point in his life. Somebody said, hey, the jujitsu isn't through the physicality of it. It's up
Yeah.
here. It's in your head. And there's no reason you can't keep teaching these kids. Whether you can walk or not, there's no reason you can't still be a fantastic instructor. You already know it all, right? It's all up in your head. You know it. Keep giving it away. Keep keep teaching. And that gave him the inspiration to get better as well physically. And months later, he's back on the mats training again. So I think that has a lot to do with it too. Is it's your mindset, but it's who you surround yourself with to give you that mindset. Because if you're home alone all the time, or you're surrounded by negative people, I think that creeps in, and it's very easy for you to then use those limitations as an excuse.
Well, what do they say? You are who you hang out with. So that's number one,
Sure.
right? Always surround yourselves with people who are better than you.
Yeah. What was there's that one thing that I've heard you say a couple times. It's like you pick 3 people that are closest to you. Do you know what I'm talking about? The 3 people that are closest to you, and those are the type of person, or that's the type of person you're going to be.
You're going to be, yeah.
How, explain that a little bit.
Well, it's just one of those concepts where, you tell me 5 people that you hang out with, and I'll tell you who you're going to be in the future.
Okay.
And it's a simple concept of, surround yourself. You are who you surround yourself with, right? And it is as a human nature, as a human beings, we often adapt to the situations of the surroundings, right? So our surrounding is stronger than our habit. Many say that actually it's because if you hang out, well, let's create some dramatic scenarios here. You hang out with smokers, you're very likely to smoke. If you hang out with people who are unhealthy and they drink beer on a couch on Thursday night and watch football, you're probably not making to jiu-jitsu class.
Mm-hmm.
And on the flip side, if you hang out with people who train jiu-jitsu every single day, actually the likelihood of you being at the academy is much, much higher.
Mm-hmm.
And there are proven studies. I'm not smart enough to quote those right now, but there are proven studies that who you surround yourself with, you are going to develop those habits with by far more efficiency and by far more success. So be selective who your friends are. I mean, that's, and I know that's harsh. But
Yeah.
ultimately,
do you think it's what am I trying to say here? Is it habitual? Is that what changes your mindset? Is the habit, or is it the reverse, that the mindset creates the bad habits?
rephrase. I have a foreign moment.
I'm going to rephrase it. I'm just going to say the exact opposite thing. So
we're not going to get anywhere with this.
Right. So if are the habits that you have, are those what create your positive mindset, and the mindset that doesn't let you be limited by whatever is going on in your life? Or does the mindset create those bad habits of sitting on the couch drinking beer on Thursday nights all the time, not going to jiu-jitsu? Which one would
this is a very good question. I would spin this slightly different. Is the surrounding creates putting you in that situation and creates those habits. Okay, creating those wrong, those negative thoughts, and as a result, you create these negative habits, right? So, again, you want to start jiu-jitsu, start talking to people who do jiu-jitsu.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I mean, think about it this way. It's even what you were saying earlier in the episode right now. You call the place that you've never been to. You don't even know who those people are, but you start talking to this dude, named Phil, and you told him, I'm kind of want to do this, but I'm way too old for this. And he goes, no, you're not. No, you're not. I'm the same age. And there's probably 40 other guys who are literally the same age and are doing this right now.
Liar.
So what's your thought on this, right? Is like the moment you hear that, you say, well, hold on a second. There's a group of people who are literally experiencing the same thing. So now my concern just went down. I don't have these concerns anymore because I'm not the only one. See, we don't want to be singled out. We don't want to spotlight as human beings. We don't want to be the one example. We don't want to be always pointed out as the guy. We want to be surrounded by people who are like-minded. And whether it's jiu-jitsu, chess, or losing weight, or running, or biking, or playing with our kids, or having a healthy lifestyle, it doesn't matter. The point is, if you surround yourself with the people who have the same mindset, the limitations are changing. you tackle it in a very different way. You look at it from a very different perspective, and what you thought was a problem or obstacle just got much smaller because you're not the only one. You have support network.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. I guess that's words to live by. I mean, like I said, yeah, it's easy to see. Now I'm torn because I feel like it's easy to. Why is it so easy to find the people that are going to help you stay lazy, that are going to help you stay in a negative mindset? And why is it so much harder to reach out and find those people that are going to change that for you and put you
Because you're outside
in
your
a better
comfort zone.
spot? Because you're outside you. So it's odd to me.
Well, hold on, but I'm
to
going
be comfortable.
I'm going to play devil's advocate.
Sure.
I'm going to play with devil's advocate right now. If all your friends are jiu-jitsu friends and you want to reach out to different jiu-jitsu people, will you do it without any hesitation?
There might be a little bit, but it's definitely going to be easier,
Okay.
right?
So now the second scenario, you don't know any jiu-jitsu people and you want to reach out to jiu-jitsu people. Will you do it with hesitation?
Of course.
Yeah. So who you surround yourself with? That's the point.
Mm-hmm.
If you surround yourself with people that you want to make these improvements, that's the obstacles just get much smaller, right? So if you're sitting on a couch and this is your life, and you surround yourself by people who do sit on the couch and drinking beer and we're not bashing on those people, but and we kind of are actually. It's just it is what it is, right? I mean, we all make our choices, but my point is, we all make choices. We all make decisions in our life every single day, and we make thousands of them a day. One of those choices could be you getting off the couch and going and taking a walk, going on a bike ride, taking a run, going to whatever, swimming, pool,
Mm-hmm.
or jiu-jitsu class. Whatever the case is, it doesn't matter. You're making that choice. Or also you're making that choice not to do it.
Yeah.
See, often people think that by them staying at home, they don't make a choice. No, they actually make a choice. It's a conscious choice of not taking action. Not taking action is a choice.
Yeah, for sure. I have a friend that he was talking about. Well, there was a milestone coming up. I forget what it was. But he was like, after that, I think I'm going to try to learn how to play the piano. And everybody's laughing at me about it. I was like, why are they laughing at you about it? What's the, you're 50 years old. So what? And like, play the piano, get a little keyboard, go get a book. You could do it online now. I'm sure there's a million ways. Yeah.
A million apps. Freaking,
right. Exactly.
Free,
so like,
them.
what's the big deal? Just go do it. Just go do it. And
see, that's the limitations that we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
I'm too old. They make fun of me. I don't know where to start. I don't know how. I don't know anybody who knows how. These are reasons not to do it.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, we have a choice. Do you want to do it or you don't? One or the other, left or right. You have to make a call. And you can't not make a decision.
Yeah. And I before we wrap this up, then I just want to say, if people are struggling with decisions like this, think about a year down the road. Mm-hmm. If you don't do it now, I bet in a year you're still going to want to have done it. Yeah. And now you're going to have a year's worth of new limitations and excuses to put on yourself, right? So definitely think about the future when these decisions come up. What if I do? What if I don't? Weigh the pros and cons, write them down, figure it out. And I bet 9 times out of 10, you're going to pick that one where you're stepping out of your comfort zone, where you think you have limitations, and you're going to find out that you don't. So.
Yeah. All these limitations often turn around into excuses, and that's what hinders us. So stay strong. Right. Be motivated.
All right, sir. Are we doing another one of these soon?
I don't know. Should we?
Yeah,
is anybody even listening to this? Hello? Yeah. Is anybody over there?
They make me uncomfortable, so let's keep doing them. All right, sir. On to the next one.
Stay comfortable in uncomfortable situations.
There you go.
Peace.
Thank you for listening to Raw Radio. If you enjoyed the show, don't forget to leave us a review and help us make the show even more amazing. For future episodes, check out our website and follow us on all major podcast platforms. Take care.